Okay, well, after 20 minutes and having to jack the car up and all that stuff, I found my hook back. Okay, so we were over here and about to do this hook when I dropped it into the abyss. But okay, we're back. Here's your hook. Do that one. Here's your hook. This one broke, man. So let's wiggle it off like so. And then this one is like the other one, facing down. But you can kind of get your fingers in there. Like that. And get that one off. All right, so now that all three of those are off, and you took your two nuts off for that wire loom, you can kind of lift up on this and kind of just sit it to the side a little bit. You just need a little bit of room to get those out of there. So again, you're gonna use your 10. Okay. Use your 10. Okay. Use your 10. Like that. All right, so again, this is where the magic happens. Get your spark plug socket. Whatever that is. If you can keep up with your tools better than me, you know what you're doing. All right, but get your spark plug socket. Let's go down and down into the hole. Right there. Next one. And finally, now it's time for old Ruth and them. Ruth, where you at, baby? little smuts on there, I'll do. There you go. This. Down into the hole. Gingerly. There you go. Nice and smooth. What y'all been up to? Hope y'all doing all right. Javi, it's weird seeing your car without you in it and driving it. It's weird seeing your car moving without you in it and driving it.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good. Any C's on here. Don't forget your smuts. Now I'm not sure exactly what would happen if you didn't put any C's on. I keep wanting to say antifreeze. If you didn't put any C's on the threads, you know, like I mean, I've never seen, you know, the stuck spark plugs, but they say it can happen. So I usually just, you know, I don't want to learn lessons the hard way. Gingerly, almost soothingly into the spark plug hole and just twist it home. Look at that. Smooth as margarine. All right. Last one. Some more of the anti-seizure roll. See, I always lose stuff. What did I do? Oh, here it is. See, I mean, I'm getting old, man. They're right in front of your face, Grandpa. Where are my glasses? They're on your head. Oh. All right. So, down into the hole. There you go. Just take your time. Twisting it home. I think this is why a lot of the auto shops and things like that, they have music playing. Just kind of, you know, because you're sitting here, it's kind of therapeutic. You know, you're working on stuff, but if you have some music playing or some good jams, you know, that'll keep you going. All right, so now that's in there by hand. Give it a little oink with the wrench. Smuts. 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 Right. So now that those are on there, we'll put our coils back on. So here's one. All right, and our little nut. Here is 2. Finally, number this one. There we go. Put that in there like that. Slide it down. Line up the hole. Get your bolt. Put that bolt in there. All right. Now, tighten it down. Excuse me. All right. We're gonna put our wire loom back on here. Remember, we just pulled it off of the studs. So I'll just put it back on the studs like that. Put your 2 nuts back on there. Like that. There we go. Plug back up your coils. Starting with old upside downy. You get on it. Get on there. And then this guy. Like so. And then finally this guy. That one even snapped. How about that? So, dot. All right. We can start clearing this space out because now it's time to put the manifold back on there. But when you put the manifold back on, of course you want to make sure you're not pinching nothing in between it or you're not catching something, you know what I mean? So start to clear yourself a little path. Of course it's not going to be perfect because these are rubber hoses and stuff, but try to clear yourself a little path. Get that clean. Now every time you do the manifold, you don't necessarily have to change the gasket like on some of the other cars or whatever. Like I remember on my other Camaro, it had a cardboard manifold gasket. So once you lifted it up, it was like, yeah, you definitely gonna need a new one. But this one is not like that. So clear your space like that, and let's get ready to slap this thing on there. So we got our manifold. Remember which way it was oriented? I mean, I'm pretty sure you remember which way it was oriented, right? Right? Of course you do. So, wipe it off just a little bit. Just a little bit. Wipe it off. A little wipe never hurt nothing. Okay. Now, flip, dip, double trip. All right. Now, for those of you that forgot, it was on there like this. It was on there facing like this. So, I'll get it on there. We're gonna start to smush our way in there. Come on, give us room. Get under there. Also, remember your hose on the back. So it'll be a lot easier to put it on when you got it like this rather than when you got it on there already. So get that ready. Get on there. Yeah, because if you put the manifold on and forget to put this hose back on there, it's going to be hard trying to get it on with that on. So put it on now. Save yourself. Save yourself. Save yourself. All right, so now that that's on there, that's one less thing to fight with. Try to clear your hoses out the way. There it is. This the bracket right here where the little 10 mil came out from the side of your throttle body. If you just kind of move it a little bit to the side, it'll make it a little easier to get in there. But that's kind of what was fighting a little bit too. So you can just take it with your hand and move it a little bit, but that'll give you a little more space to kind of wiggle it on there. And using these two studs, it's kind of like a reference. But you get it on like that. Make sure everything is like that. There's really nothing to kind of pinch in between except for this one and the air hose on the back. The wires, they kind of keep themselves out of the way for the most part. But once you got it on there like that, you know, see, feels like it's on there. Bet it. So we're gonna put our bolts back on and secure it down. Then we'll put all the plugs back in. But first we'll do the easy ones. There's the two little nuts. The little nut right there, just finger tight. And then the other one right here, don't drop it, but just finger tight. Right, grab you one of these and just drop it down in there. And again, just finger tight. Do-de-do-de-do. And then one right here. Now again, I'm sure that there's a torque sequence and all that stuff, but I'm just kind of going willy-nilly. Don't tell anybody. Put that in there like that. Pick another hole. Like that. And also don't forget your recessed bolts that are hidden in them holes back there. I'm just gonna drop that one down. No, I ain't gonna drop it just yet because I'm not over there looking at it, and I don't want to throw an incomplete pass straight to the engine block. So I'm gonna wait till I get a little closer. But I'm just going back and forth, tightening these down just by hand, like that. And then I'm gonna go over to these other ones, just so I can get a little better view, so I'm not dropping it into the abyss. There we go. And then this one. Oh. There we go. And again, just by hand, but with using the tool, but you know, because you can't reach down there in that hole with your fingers. Here we go with this again. There we go. then finally your two nuts. Alrighty. So now that is on there, we can reconnect our throttle body. Just kind of bend your hose like that, and it'll line right back up. Again, also with the throttle body, that gasket, you don't necessarily need to change it each time. They do say take advantage while you have it off and clean your throttle body. I did that before, so I'm not gonna do it now, but if you're here, you can clean your throttle body, spray your, throttle body cleaner and all that. But you don't need a new gasket each time. Like, some other ones got a cardboard gasket. As soon as you rip it off, oh, there you go. So, but this one isn't like that. So just put it back on there, line it up. Line him up. Line him up. I like putting stuff in by hand first too, because I feel like you can feel the threads better by hand than if you were doing it with a wrench or with a socket. Because if you start cross-threading it, you might not know until it's too late. So I like to go by hand. All natty, baby. All natty. So once you got it going in there and you feel that the bolts have caught the threads, then you can start doing it with the wrench or with the socket. I'm sorry. Always leave it on the other side. You should have one that's like on a zip string, like zzz, and come with you. Like your buddies will pull it and let it go. It's a good one, man. It's a good one. You really got me that time. All right. And of course we hit it with the wrench. 10mm bolt that was on the side holding it. Now don't drop it when you're putting it back there, because you could easily, hit your hand and then you drop. So get a tight grip on it. All right, now we're going back. It's going in that hole. You know what? Do it with this hand. There we go. It was a lot easier with this hand. So that's on. You can start to connect anything that was on this side. For instance, remember this wire. Well, first remember right here was connected on the manifold. So bam, right there. Then remember your wire loom went up like this and it was stuck into your manifold. It was stuck into your manifold. Get in there. It was plugged right here. Get on there. And then your throttle body. Get on there. Oops. Go. All right, that's all. That. Now we go over to the other side. Oh, well, you know, we can rehook this up too. But remember, this air hose was right here, but we can do that now. Right there. Alrighty, now over to the other side. To the other side. Remember, I plugged up right here. Oh, look at that. Remember your wire loom was plugged in right here. Remember our brake booster was hooked up, but I'm gonna reconnect our banjo bolt first, just so I can have a little extra room to move around. So we're not gonna connect that brake booster right yet. So let's get our banjo bolt. And not forgetting our two washers that were on there. Remember, one stayed on the bolt and the other we put right here. So remember, it was the washer, the banjo, and then the other bolt. So we'll put that right there. That right there. And then we're going in. Uh-oh. Oh. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh, don't you drop on me. There we go. Yeah, I'm trying not to lose this washer, because you do not want to lose that. One thing I'm gonna do too is, remember, this fuel line is tucked into that little cubby back there. So I'm gonna tuck it into that cubby first, and that'll give you a little more breathing room. It's like you gotta bring it like up and over this lip back there. And once you do that, so it'll give you a lot more line right up, a little easier. All right, so don't forget your bolt, the banjo, and then your washer. Oh, look at that. See, it line right up. Once you get it back in the little cubby back there, and then you just screw it right in there. that one was a 12. So, banjo bolt back on. Your sensor connector that was on your banjo bolt. Like that. Now, of course, your brake booster hose. Alrighty. So, with that being said, it looks like everything is everything. Got to get the battery and put the battery back on. So, let me clean up this mess. And hopefully, oh, wait, no. Oh, no. See, almost forgotten. How could you? My airbox. How could you almost forget that? Man. Boy, well, my face been red. All right. Well, hold on, before we do that, let's clean up our mess. Because remember, a clean cook is a good cook. So, clean as you go. There. So, got all of our instruments out of the patient. All right. And we're gonna put our air breather and things back on. So again, start up top right there, just smush it right on there, and then you can line up your airbox, put that on there, put your clips, 3, back into your wire loom. I'm not gonna plug that yet, but tighten it back here. Remember that was a 10. Remember our breather hose. Here. And then, of course, our mass airflow sensor. Alrighty. So, got that plugged up, got that put in there. Oh yeah, look, don't forget back down here. Remember you had the hose that was connected right here. And you kind of got to be careful. I'm glad these things don't break as easy. All right, let's see, just like that, because just smushing it down, you look and it's all smushed. And good thing that plastic don't break like the other plastic. But just put that back right there like that. And give her one last look around, one last glimpse. All right. Make sure everything is everything. Yeah. Touch connectors and stuff. Make sure everything like that. So that should be it. We'll get the battery, and hopefully on the next part, you will be seeing a running Lexus. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Thank you for sitting through this, and I will see you on the next one.